This week's episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County was pure chaos. The kind where you don't even know who to believe. And honestly, maybe no one deserves to be believed. The ladies are still in New Orleans, supposedly for a good time. But between Tamra Judge and Katie Janela, it's more like a battle for survival. Both women are in damage control mode. Both have half the group believing them, and both have long histories of stirring the pot. In the middle of it all, we're just sitting at home wondering, should we trust either of them? Spoiler alert, probably not. Let's dive into the mess. The drama really kicks off at the dinner table in what's apparently the only non-haunted restaurant in New Orleans. On one side, we have Tamra, a veteran housewife who has burned enough bridges over the years to start her own fire department. She's telling the group she was betrayed by someone on the cast, but only about half the women seem to believe her. Given her track record of offending everyone, apologizing, and then doing it again, you can see why they're hesitant. On the other side is Katie, the relative newcomer who has somehow managed to get into beef with almost everyone in just 2 seasons. She's been accused of making up lies, lying about the lies, making up new lies about those lies, and even leaking them to bloggers. And yet she's shocked that only half the women believe her too. It's like watching 2 people play a game of who's the bigger troublemaker. And everyone else is just stuck in the blast zone. Early in the day, the group splits into 2. Gina leads the VZ, crew of Heather, Gretchen, and Jen, while Emily finds herself with Tamra, Shannon, and Katie, basically the troublemakers. Somehow, Gina and Emily have become the Switzerland of the group, managing to stay on good terms with everyone. Well, except for some fans, who have been loudly calling for their firing for years like it's the Rihanna album that never drops. But the peace doesn't last long. Shannon refuses to be around Katie, claiming Katie did something illegal by filming her. Katie's come back. She points out that Shannon was happy to hang out with Alexis, who once sued her for 75 Ozadin. And I can't even eat a Baignet with you, she asks. It's a fair point, but the shade is real. Because of the tension, Katie doesn't get to join Tamra at Café du Monde. Tamra goes instead with Shannon, reminiscing that the last time she was there was with Teddy Mellencamp, right before Teddy's illness became public. They flash a photo from that day and surprise, Bronwyn Wyndham Burke is also in the shot. Talk about a jump scare. It's like finding Gollum in your pastry. Later, Tamra opens up to Shannon about wanting to drink less. She says she doesn't like who she becomes when she's drunk. Loud, mean, and messy. She apologizes and reminds Shannon of their 10-year friendship, almost as if she's trying to bring back the Tres Amigas era. For a brief moment, it seems like they might actually be able to make peace. Meanwhile, Gretchen tells her group she's ready to put her old feud with Tamra behind her, citing the Bible and saying forgiveness is a commandment. This raises eyebrows because, last anyone checked, "Thou shalt forgive" isn't actually in the 10 Commandments. But hey, if quoting scripture helps her let go of grudges, why not? Then comes one of the most unexpectedly hilarious parts of the episode, the visit to Bloody Mary's Voodoo shop. Bloody Mary is an absolute icon. She's over the drunk tourists, the bachelorette parties, and the people asking for voodoo dolls for PTA rivals. She barely looks up from her book, handles the voodoo dolls like she's working the slowest government office in history, and gives off, "I truly do not care," energy. And somehow, that makes her amazing. Outside the shop, Tamra starts spilling tea about Katie. Gretchen says Katie's never wronged her. But then Tamra drops a bomb. She claims she heard from two different people that Kiki Monique told her that Katie said Gretchen told her that Tamra roofied Gretchen back in the infamous Naked Wasted night from season 4. Now, for those who don't remember, Naked Wasted was when Tamra and Vicky got Gretchen so drunk at a dinner party that she almost hooked up with Tamra's son, who was bartending. There was no actual roofie involved, but Tamra conveniently leaves out the part about her son in this retelling, probably because it doesn't make her look great. Gretchen is stunned. She insists she never accused Tamra of drugging her, and honestly, she's right. If she had, she would have shouted it from the rooftops long ago. But she also isn't convinced Tamra actually heard this rumor in the first place. Tamra tries to apologize again, saying she wants to repair things, but Gretchen says Tamra has a talent for making people believe in the possibility of change without ever really delivering on it. At dinner, things get even messier. Before sitting down, Tamra meets Gretchen in the hallway to ask if she wants to address the rumor. Katie joins them and denies ever saying anything like that to a blogger. Gretchen just wants to move past it, but she also suspects Tamra is using the rumor to shift the heat onto Katie. The rest of the women see this situation as a test of loyalty. Jen, who's still upset with Tamra over the fatty photo drama, sides with Katie. Shannon and Heather, who already distrust Katie, believe she's capable of leaking the rumor. When Tamra returns to the table and hears that Gretchen is siding with Katie, Shannon sarcastically congratulates Katie for winning over one person. The dinner spirals quickly. Jen tries to bring up the fatty photo again, but Tamra pretends she doesn't even know what Jen's talking about. They can't even agree on what their main issue is. Tamra gets snappy, tells Gretchen to stay out of her fight with Jen, and then tells Katie to feetux off. She's rude to Heather, tells Gina to f off too, and Gina fires back, saying Tamra's drunk and acting out. Possibly the strongest stance Gina has ever taken on the show. At this point, the dinner is just chaos. Tamra has managed to upset nearly every single woman at the table. Katie's drama style is the opposite. She stays calm, denies accusations, and deflects attention. Tamra, on the other hand, confronts things head-on, yells over people, and turns the heat back on them. Eventually, she storms out, even snapping at production. Sitting in another part of the restaurant, she looks at the camera and asks if they have a car for her or if she needs to call an Uber. Back at the table, the women speculate about whether Tamra's mixing alcohol with Xanax and say she just doesn't seem like herself. Then the texts start rolling in. Tamra tells Gina to fex off via text, and then she posts on Instagram saying she's quitting the show. The post reads like a farewell, saying, "It was a long run. Why does life give you problems? This reality doesn't make sense. Peace out. I'm out." But is she really leaving? Or is this just another dramatic move to get attention and shift the narrative? That's the million-dollar question. With Tamra, you never really know. And honestly, without her, the show's drama quota might take a huge hit. But maybe that's exactly why she won't actually go anywhere. By the end of the episode, the group is more divided than ever. Tamra's burned a bunch of bridges in one night. Katie's managed to stay calm under fire. And the rest of the women are just picking sides based on who they trust least. In New Orleans, the Beignets might be sweet, but the housewives are serving nothing but bitter tea.